Howdy, howdy, folks. I'm hoping you all can hear me. A couple of weeks ago, last weekend, I ran Instagram live while I was doing Rumble live. And fortunately, I did that because somehow I ended up with no sound on the Rumble. So I went and downloaded the video from the Instagram live and uploaded it to YouTube. And I think I did Rumble too. But anyway, I'm always fraught with technical difficulties. Anyway, I have a welcome to the Sticks-n-Stonez Show. I have an excellent show for you today. I am really kind of excited about this pairing, and I hope I'm going out live on more than just Rumble because I haven't shown up on YouTube yet. Typically, not a good sign. Again, constantly fraught with problems. But anyway, it's not going to dissuade me in any way from bringing you this wonderful pairing. I am pairing the Glenlivet Caribbean Reserve single malt Scotch with a Rose of Sharon by Southern Draw. And I think it's going to be a great show. So we're going to just dive right on in. I think this combo is going to marry the rum-cask finish uh, and the whiskey's kind of exotic sweetnesses with the cigar's creamy, nuanced Connecticut Shade wrapper. And I think it's going to make for an excellent way to just unwind and relax. So stay with me because you're going to want to see all this. All right. This is one of my favorite scotches. I do love the Caribbean Reserve by the Glenlivet. Uh, and I have new contact lenses. And so far, they're very good at a distance, but they are not so good close up. So I might have to get some reading glasses. But we're going to try and make it through this. This is a single malt Scotch. The Glenlivet's been around since 1824. See if I can read this. Holy cow. It is 40% alcohol by volume, so 80 proof. And it is finished, aged in Caribbean rum casks, which what gives it its special flavors. Let's go ahead and glass some up. That's worrying me about YouTube. I still don't see myself live. Always get skirt because over the last 5 years, I'll be starting season 6 in June. I have had many, many technical difficulties, and you just never know. I'm gonna go ahead before we start taking the visual, and we're gonna see if we can maybe find me here somewhere. Anyway, visually, this is just a beautiful, beautiful spirit. That very light golden color, just wonderful in the glass. Give it a swirl. It's got really nice legs to it. Clings to the glass very well. Um, it kind of reminds you of a very light honey, you know. Um, and I just think it's got just really really solid legs to it. I really love this spirit. I can't say enough good things about it. But anyway, on the nose, let me pull myself down just a little bit. Sorry. It just has this real tropical fruit explosion on it. You get honeydew, like ripe peaches, bananas, maybe some mandarin oranges in there, a little pear layered in with some vanilla, toffee, just maybe a hint of subtle coconut, and all that kind of brings forth a kind of a rum sweetness. I love rum. I know I don't do a lot of rum here, but I love rum. It is by far my favorite. Yes, sorry, whiskey, but you know. Anyway, there's also kind of a light grassy or floral hint drifting through it really keeps it nice and fresh. All right, let's do it on the palate. Cheers. This particular Scotch doesn't necessarily taste like Scotch. Uh, there's no peatiness to it. There's no smokiness to it. Um, it's very approachable and light-bodied with kind of creamy caramel, some vanilla, some tropical fruits, kind of like in the nose. You know, think melon, banana, citrus. There's a kind of a touch of like minty freshness. You know, it is smooth. Has a balanced sweetness, not too sweet, not too dry. Mm, that is a wonderful, wonderful Scotch. I know it doesn't take the spot as number one Scotch in my book. That still belongs to the Dalmore, but that is probably the close second right there. I really love this bottle. Now on to the cigar. How we doing? Oh man, we're only. It looks like 6 minutes in. It's either 6 minutes in or 66 because I'm seeing kind of double of everything close up. Anyway, the Southern Draw Rose of Sharon. Uh, I see this in my feed on Instagram or X constantly. People love this cigar, and it is a really good cigar. I test smoked one a couple of weeks ago, uh, getting ready for this pairing, trying to decide what I was going to pair with it. I want to try and do better about getting those pairings out a little sooner to my subscribers. If you're a subscriber on X, it costs you $1 a month. I send out a note card before the live stream that tells you the spirit and the cigar I'm doing and gives you kind of the tasting profiles so that you already have an idea about what's going to be said before it's said. That's a great deal. $1 a month. Four, four exclusives of what I'm going to be pairing that week. Roughly four. Depends on the month. Anyway, the Southern Draw Rose of Sharon. It is Nicaraguan and Dominican fillers, and a wonderful, wonderful. Wasn't even holding that up high enough. Uh, Connecticut Connecticut Shade wrapper. Sorry. Visually, it is a extremely well constructed stick. It has. If I can hold this out far enough so I can see, it does, and I can actually make it out now. I can't up close. Um, It has tight but visible seams. It has minimal veining, I mean, very minimal, and almost no pronounced veining at all. I mean, this is an extremely, extremely uh, well selected wrapper leaf. Um, they did a great job on this. All right. And it's very also it's very silky in your hand. It doesn't have any roughness to it. Like there's a lot of cigars kind of feel like the old paper sacks. You know, that's not nothing against that. I mean, I smoke them all the time, but just in comparing, this one is just feels much more silky to the touch. Um, it is, yeah, wonderful stick. Oh, and it's a closed foot. All right, let's give it a cut. Check out the cold draw. C car V cut. First, let me give you the nose. That really does just have a wonderful nose to it. Um, it's it's nice and like grassy, like uh, maybe a hayfield that's about ready to be harvested. I feel like I've got some sort of like floral notes. There's a little bit of cedar. There's a nice creaminess to it. This is I think this is going to be a very, I say very way too much, an exceptionally mild smoke that is going to pair very well with the Glenlivet. So let's go ahead and give it a cold draw. Cold draw does mimic the nose just a little bit. There's some sweet hay in there. There's some nice cedar notes. There is a little bit of earthiness, which I really didn't pick up in the nose. There's some white pepper, and then there's also some faint floral notes in there. All right, I'm using my Cigar two torch today. It was laying on the desk. I just picked it up instead of the Rocky Patel Envoy. That is normally my lighter of choice. This just happened to be the one I grabbed. I did a decent job. Didn't do a wonderful job, but I did a decent job. So, all right. A wonderfully easy draw. I don't think it's too easy. It might be too easy if it was a darker, more robust cigar, but a wonderful draw on it. It's got giving you a plethora of smoke. That's a big word for a country boy right there. It's grassy and earthy, um, with white and red pepper spice in it. There's cedar. There's a nice creaminess to it. Uh, the kind of those hay notes again, and some subtle wood. It's a mild to medium bodied finish, or a palate. Um, it's wonderful smoke, and this is one of those that if you are a person that is just getting into cigars, you need to start with a lighter leaf. Those are typically the milder cigars. Think this, or an Olivet, Serie O, or Serie V, Serie G, not V. Um, that lighter kind of Connecticut Shade wrapper. Those are the milder, tend to be the milder cigars, and they're going to be easier for you to work your way into the cigar world. And then once you've had your training wheels on for a while, you sampled a lot of the lighter wrapper things, then you can step up to a little bit darker wrapper. This is a great starting point. You might be like, well, I don't want to try anything else. But anyway, so let's try them together. Where are we at? 13 minutes, I think. We're doing good. This is a very harmonious, sort of elevating match, where each one's kind of helping support and lift up the other. Uh, the Glenlivet's tropical fruit and that rum driven kind of sweetness with the banana and the melon and a little bit of coconut, maybe the caramel. Uh, it just beautifully complements the Rose of Sharon creaminess, and there's a little nuttiness there. There's that subtle spice, the kind of the black and red pepper, uh, and the I almost said the rum, the Scotch does kind of round those edges on the pepper, kind of bring that down just a little bit where you're more getting the flavor as opposed to the spiciness. And and I think it's going to continue to enhance as we continue to work through the cigar. I am very satisfied with this match. This is a good pairing. I wish I was sitting down at the Sticks-n-Stonez Southern Command down on the Gulf Coast, watching the waves roll in right now. Yeah, smoke in the glass doesn't mean anything. I just do it. I don't see anybody else doing it, so it kind of makes me unique. Um, but I do think if I'm trying to give you how the flavors, the profiles go together, I need to have the least amount of time between the smoke and the sip so that I can tell you how that all synergizes together. That's not a long word, but that's still another big word for a country boy. Um, there will be some Scotch purists out there that do not like this Scotch, not because there's anything wrong with it, but because they're a purist. You can't do that shit, you know. Uh, I am all for the marrying of other aging barrels into spirits. There's so much stuff out there that, especially with the rum, I love rum, and it imparts that sweetness and that kind of tropicaliness, if that's a word. Um, and it's really good to kind of take off the edges that can be a little more robust with whiskeys. I just think it adds that deeper element. I love it. I do. Got a decent burn on it, a decent burn line going on it. Not, man, I can't get that centered for nothing. Not great, but pretty decent. The stacks are not like really nice and layered. There's a little bit of a bulge right there, probably a stem or something in there that's burned. It's a natural product. It's rolled by hand. That's what you get. That's why you do it. If you didn't want it, the stuff is rolled by hand and taken such great care of, you smoke a cigarette or a, what is it? Not King Edward's, uh, Dutch Masters or White Owl or whatever you can buy at the convenience store. Oh no. The premium hand roll stuff is where it's at. And and there was a study commissioned by the National Institute of Health, and they were trying to show the percentages of the population that get cancer, and they had cigarette smokers, they had hand rolled, machine rolled cigars and pipe tobacco. Then they had the premium hand rolled cigars, and then they had people that had never smoked before in their life. It's about 50,000 people studied for 10 years. The people that had never smoked at all ever, they had a 5.2% chance of getting cancer, according to the study. Of course, cigarettes were like 11 or 12%. The machine rolled cigars and pipes were like 7.5% or something like that. Guess where the premium hand rolls came in? I'll let you marinate on it for a minute. Go ahead and you can pop your thoughts in the chat, although I can't see it. So anyway, we'll just go ahead and play the game. 5.1%, less than the people that had never smoked before ever. I think some of that could be due to cigars are so relaxing. You feel too great to get cancer. Unless there's other mitigating factors there. Like I've got a buddy of mine from the military. He was in the Marines before I served with him, and he was out at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, and he's one of those. He was in there during the time when they had the tainted water, and yeah, he's had some struggles. Love you, buddy. His first time in several years is he had bladder cancer, came back cancer free. It was tough there for a while. They give him the chemo and stuff. He'd come back in, and they'd test him again. He'd have more tumors than he had before. They finally managed to get it under control and get it wiped. So, but yeah, the government will kill you before cigars will. And it is. I'm gonna touch this up because it's gotten a little squirrely on me, just a little bit. I always try to keep a single torch around, just for those spots, got to be very precise. You don't want to like burn up half the wrapper. Still going extremely well together. If you have never tried the Glenlivet Caribbean Reserve, you need to buy a bottle. It's really good, um, especially if you are somebody that likes rum and stuff like that. It's very good. It just adds a little bit of a sweetness to it. It's not a lot sweet. It just adds a little sweetness to it that I think enhances the entire experience. Man, watching Vanderbilt in Florida, SEC basketball tournament. Vanderbilt is they have a sizable lead over number one Florida. That's number one in the SEC. My Aggies crapped out. They lost to Oklahoma earlier this week. It was ranked lower than they were, and it was 20 points. It's all right though. It's Bucky's first season. I think he did pretty well for the first season. He basically had to start over from scratch. Players just when the other guy left, Buzz Sawyer, uh, when he left, like everybody left, and so he was having to start fresh, like hey, we're gonna have a basketball team this season. Find some guys to play, kind of like that. Yeah, that just looks. I would. I'm not going to try to take this down much farther before I tap it off. Otherwise, it's going to end up in my lap. I'll go ahead and tap it now. Yeah, I don't trust it. I would normally not like doing that. I would want to keep it there as long as I could, but it just looked too shaky out there at the end. I'm live on Rumble. All right, I can't see anything else, so I have no idea whether I'm actually going live or not. I hope so. There I am. Oh, well, we're on X. Hey, all right. Can I hear myself? Anything else? Look at that. I could hear myself. All right. So we know at least X and Rumble's working. Hey, that's the two important ones, right? I do like Rumble. I wish they could have taken off a lot faster than they have. They really kind of bumped along. It is just amazing at how much the Big Brother video site has such a stranglehold on everything. But you got to do what you got to do. I kind of think we're getting really close to the halfway mark, and I know people are like, he's just in here BSing. He's not keeping up with what's going on. I really am taking notes, taking notes as we go along. Still got, yeah, even after I straightened it up, it's even gotten more of a little. I don't put a whole lot of stock in it, but I do a little bit. I always see these guys talking about how their burn line is so razor straight. Mine typically aren't. Some of it I think is uh, my lighting, and some of it's natural product. I say this quite often. It is it's natural. What do you expect? Natural is not going to be perfect, right? Uh, and when you talk about cigarettes, machine made, all right, so much goes into making sure everything is exactly the same all the time, and all that stuff that they put in it is, I think, what causes all the cancer, not not the product itself. I mean, tobacco's been around for how long? The tobacco plant, it didn't just spring up. It's been here. Probably people have been smoking it for thousands of years. Didn't know it. Anyway, We're at 25 minutes, so we're doing good. Here, kind of at the halfway mark, um, the transition in the cigar has been to kind of creamier notes. I'm picking up coffee with creamer in it. Uh, Said something, but I couldn't read it. Anyway, um, it's got coffee like creamer, coffee with creamer in it. You get some leather, some nice roasted nuts, some vanilla, a little bit of like toasty elements. Um, the the pepper has kind of mellowed into the retro hail, and I do pick up a little bit of kind of citrus, kind of lemony zest, kind of tang on the retro hail. Um, and as we've gotten in, the vanilla and the coffee and the leather, uh, those notes um have kind of they kind of amplify. Trying to think of the words I need to spit this out. Um, the whiskey's kind of oaky, toasty undertones, adding depth and structure without overpowering the Scotch. Um, there's so many people when you talk about like bourbon or American whiskey or whatever, they're all talking. The big thing right now is like cask strength and full proof. People drinking 120, 130 proof spirits. Uh, but then you've got the Glenlivet here at 80. So, yeah, it would be fairly easy for a spirit to overpower a cigar like this, but these two work very well together. Uh, um, I am sipping it neat. I would not typically with Scotch. You don't do ice cubes like you would. A lot of guys, even me, with bourbon and other kind of American whiskeys. But you might literally just a drop or two of water that can open up some other uh, some other flavors in the profile. Um, I don't do it. I think I'm giving you plenty. That whiskeys, the scotches, um, kind of refreshing, kind of citrus, tropically flavors, with that little hint of mint that I said was there. Um, they cut through the cigar's kind of richer midway um, flavors and make it a little creamy and make it a little creamier and kind of rounds out any sharpness that you might find in the dram. This is a balanced and approachable pairing that just kind of keeps evolving. It's perfect for a day like this, like 70 something degrees, sun shining. It's wonderful outside. I mean, enjoying a really nice sip and smoke. It's awesome. I won't. We're right at the 30-minute mark, and I'm really trying to keep us at 30 minutes. I generally end up going to like 34, 35, but I think we are we're probably at a point where I can kind of wrap this thing up because I know you're going to want to run right out and find a Southern Draw Rose of Sharon and a bottle of the Glenlivet Caribbean Reserve. You definitely need it. Uh, I would give this pairing probably an 8.7, 8.8 out of 10. Uh, I think it will definitely be a crowd pleasing pairing. It's got that nice tropical vibrancy and the refined kind of smoothness. The Glenlivet brings that kind of exotic flair. to temper the cigars, some of the cigars' nuances, while the Rose of Sharon kind of adds a nice savory complexity to elevate the Scotch. Uh, I would highly recommend it for fans of lighter, more fruit forward spirits and exquisite, elegant Connecticut cigars. Uh, you should always enjoy responsibly, just as I have today. I hope you've enjoyed this pairing as much as I've enjoyed bringing it to you. Please hit like, subscribe, share, notify, ring all the bells, blow all the whistles, um, share the snot out of it. That's how I grow, and I want to keep doing this for as long as I can. So until we get to be together again, keep your sticks dry, your stones cold. Have a great day.